Hey Cancer, welcome to your weekly forecast from May 18th through the 24th. We're going to see what's happening the week ahead for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising with this lovely deck here. And we are going to pull a spirit message for you all from this deck here. So without further ado, my darlings, let's jump right on in here and see what is going on for you guys for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Keep in mind we do have Venus in retrograde this week. And it'll be in retrograde for a bit. So some of you are going to be feeling a little sentimental. Some of you, sometimes when Venus is in retrograde, sometimes people begin really kind of reviewing their life and ways in which they're looking for security or figuring out what security means for them. But we're just going to pull some cards here and see what the cards have to say and see what comes up in my intuition for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising in the week ahead, my dears. Alrighty, darlings. So first off, your first card here is you have 5 of Cups. Okay, now if I'm not mistaken, this is the first card that came up for Virgo. So this is not a card that's associated with Cancer or with Virgo, but the fact that both of you received this card and both of you are receiving it early on in the week or as your first card, some of you might have a situation happening with a Virgo. Or you may have Virgo in your chart somewhere that's kind of coming up to the surface, and that energy is like a shared energy. And so this might be like a double confirmation for you about this card in the week. Now, don't get too discouraged, because the way that I'm feeling this card for you guys, Cancer, is this is going to be kind of the effect that a lot of you are feeling from the Venus retrograde. Because one of the things Venus retrograde is doing, it's taking people down a trip down memory lane in terms of their experiences with people, both romantic as well as family, work situations, relationships with bosses or coworkers, your relationships all across the board. And so what might be happening for you guys, Cancer, is Venus retrograde is kind of bringing attention to the ways that you feel other people have let you down. It might be you're looking back in the past, you're like, hey, wait a minute. There's a pattern here. There's like a pattern here where people seem to disappoint me, or I really get my hopes up about a situation and it doesn't turn out the way that I had expected or the way that I had hoped. Okay, so this might be the energy that you guys are feeling, is that 5 of Cups energy. But a couple of things in terms of perception. Number one, 5 of Cups reminds us that though we may have had a disappointment, this disappointment is an opportunity to basically get what we want, right? We still have 2 full cups. We have the 3 that have been knocked over. But here's the opportunity to pick them up and to fill them up with whatever we want. Right? Whatever we want to put in those cups. So it's really an opportunity. Yes, give yourself time to feel sad about what didn't work out. Let yourself feel it emotionally. Let yourself release it in that way. Ride out that wave of feeling. Whatever you do, Cancer, do your best not to push down or ignore feelings, because that blocks us in manifesting. That closes up the heart chakra. So when we're at 5 of Cups, even though we might be feeling some disappointment, the good thing about it is that the heart chakra is open, and it's a chance for us to take out the trash, so to speak, to take out those old feelings and just release them and be done with them. Get them out of our system and then focus on what we do want instead. Okay, so this is a good opportunity for some clearing, some release, and some calling and drawing in. Your next card, my dears, is the Chariot. Wow. Wow. Okay, so even though there may be a disappointment, there's a very positive shift that's happening for you this week. And the reason why I had that reaction to the Chariot card, if you are not familiar, my darlings, this is your card. Okay, and it's major arcana. We could have had several cards that come up that indicate the Cancer sign energy. However, the way that I read tarot, and this is going to be different for all readers. All readers have their own system or style, or their guides will communicate with the cards a different way. Okay, so nobody's really wrong, right? They just have different styles or different ways of communication. One of the things that happens in my readings is when your major arcana card comes up, like this is your card, Cancer, but when your major arcana card comes up, it tells me that the situation or the whatever is happening, it's bringing you into a rise of power. It's bringing you into claiming your energy. And one of the things I see happen with people when their zodiac sign major arcana card comes up in a reading around this situation, not only are they like, you know, taking their power back, but they're also beginning to really kind of like just fall in love with themselves. The things that they criticize themselves about, or the things that they saw as weaknesses, or the things about them that their friends and family made them feel insecure about, they're beginning to see how it's actually a strength, or how it's actually a positive attribute about themselves. So there's this shift that's happening in this way for many of you. Okay, and the example that I give when I talk about seeing weaknesses as strengths is whether you think somebody is determined or stubborn depends on whether or not you agree with what they're trying to do, right? Like if you knew somebody that was trying to raise $1 million for a children's charity, like to help kids and to help children, and they were always talking about it, and they were always kind of really active on social media and, you know, talking to people and doing this grassroots effort and trying to raise this money for this children's charity, you'd be like, wow, that person's really passionate about helping children. That person's really determined. Oh, wow, what a great cause, right? But if the person was doing the same thing, trying to raise money for a business, I don't know, making kites for pets, for cats and dogs, and you might be like, well, that doesn't make sense. How is a cat or a dog gonna play with a kite? And whoever they met, they're talking about their business idea. Wherever they go, they're trying to, like, you know, get people to invest in this business idea. And you'd be like, oh my God, when will this person get it through their head? When are they gonna get it through their thick skull that this is a bad idea? Right? Or they're doing something that, you know, I don't agree with. And I'm not saying, Cancer, that you guys have had a ridiculous idea. I'm just saying whatever your idea is, or whatever your goal has been, wherever you've been applying yourself, the people in your life, they might not be on the same level as you, or they might not be as awake as you are. And I'm not saying cats for pets is a good idea at all. I'm not saying kites for pets is a good idea at all. I'm not saying kites for pets is a good idea at all. But whatever's been going on is you might just be in a other kind of level that they're not getting it. They're not understanding it. And so they kind of make you feel like you're the odd one out. Like if you're an empath, if you're someone who's an empath, or if you're somebody who's an intuitive and you're sensitive to energy, right? People might tell you, oh my gosh, Cancer, why are you all sensitive all the time? Oh my goodness, like, you know, that wasn't a big deal. And you know, and then so you begin thinking that there's something wrong with the way that you react to situations, but it's connected to a very special gift, right? And you say, hey, well, you know what? That's actually something that makes me special. That's actually something that is connected to one of my gifts. And so this is what I mean about you're like starting to kind of fall in love with yourself, or you're starting to see, like how the things that people criticized you for are actually good things. The Chariot also has to do with movement. You know, Chariot always makes me think of the Ralph Waldo Emerson quote. He said, once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. So some of you are making your mind up and you're getting some clarity, you're getting some focus, you're very aware of where or who not to invest your energy in, and you're picking a new direction and you're moving very quickly towards that direction. Major Arcana cards have to do with entering a new chapter in our life, a new phase, directly connected with something we came here to learn, something we came here to master. So you're taking this shift very, very seriously, and you're getting ready to bring about change. And a lot of you are wanting to do it independently. You're wanting to do it on your own. Whereas maybe before you wanted somebody who is going to, you know, like partner up with you, or like, you know, be a cheerleader. And Cancer, you're just this energy where you're like, I don't care, cheerleader or no cheerleader. I know what I want. I know what I'm trying to do. I know what I deserve. I know who I am. And you're just heading in that direction. Your next card, my dears, is the Knight of Swords. So it's not surprising, because now you have this energy where you've made up your mind, you're going in this new direction, and you're going to have people in your life that are going to be like, well, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing, Cancer. You're not making good choices. And they might kind of come in and try to explain things to you, or try to kind of criticize your choices. Okay, some of you could be dealing with a very opinionated person. Some of you could be dealing with a very opinionated air sign person. So air would be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. So this could be a factor, but put the astrology aside. Knight of Swords could indicate conflict, disagreements, sometimes even drama. And this happens when we take back our power, right? Because what happens, the people that were benefiting from you and the people that were able to take advantage of the situation, now that you're reclaiming your power, or you're beginning to cut people, I don't want to say cut people off in terms of like banishing them from your life, but you may be cutting them off the way a bartender might cut somebody off at the bar and say, look, you've had enough. This isn't a good situation. You may be cutting them off in that way. You know, they can't come to you with supply anymore. And I feel this is especially true for any of you Cancers that have been dealing with narcissists, or that have had narcissists in your life. Like, you haven't really been sure how to take back your power, or how to disconnect. And I feel like there's this epiphany, there's this light bulb going off in your head where you're like, wait a minute, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not the issue here. It's not about me measuring up to please this person. And I want to clarify, you can have a narcissist as a boss. You could have narcissist family members. It doesn't have to be romantic. Some of you are like, oh my God, Amethyst, let me tell you, everybody's a narcissist at work, at home, in a relationship, love life. Some of you have more than one narcissist that you're dealing with, and you haven't really been sure, like, how do I kind of, you know, get out of this? And I feel with that Chariot, it's like there's this light bulb going off in your head, and you're saying, oh my gosh, all I have to do is decide what I want for my life and go forward with those plans, and not give a, you know, darn about what anybody else thinks about it. All I have to do is begin planning my life for me and for what's good for me. And you're beginning to take this shift, and all of a sudden, those narcissist people might be like, oh, wait a minute, where are you going? What do you think you're doing, right? Like, they might try to make you second guess yourself, or try to convince you that, you know, you have to listen to them. But the fact that this person is showing up as like a Knight of Swords, and not as like a heavier card, makes me feel like this is something where there may be some disagreement, but I feel it's something that you're dismissing, or like you're letting it go by you fairly quickly. You might not even be engaging with this person, other than to say, you know, thanks, but no thanks. This is non-negotiable. So I feel like you're dismissive of this person. Your next card here, Cancer, is, oh my gosh. Wow, look at this, the Magician. So 2 major arcana cards. This is a very powerful week for you, my dears. Very, very powerful week for you. So the Magician is about manifesting energy. It's a card that comes up when we're at a new beginning. We're at a kind of like we're creating something in our life. The message with the Magician is as above, so below. You're beginning to manifest. And so when the Magician card comes up for people that I'm reading for, a lot of the times what I notice begins happening is they begin seeing a lot of synchronicities. They begin seeing a lot of like repeating angel numbers. So you may be seeing repeating 2s, like 222, 111, 1111, 555. Or you may be seeing a specific number. Even if it's not like a repeating number, you may be seeing a specific number. Like I keep seeing number 7, or I keep seeing number, you know, 4, you know, so you might have a number that keeps popping up. So you might be really kind of receiving messages through angel numbers, okay? Another thing, my dears, my darlings, with the Magician card, this could be an aspect of yourself that's coming to the surface if you have, again, Virgo, or because you had that same card as Virgo in the beginning, or Gemini. I said this in the past where I associated Magician with Virgo and somebody was really upset and they're like, no, it's a Gemini card, you don't know your tarot. Yes, Gemini is associated with Magician, but so is Virgo. If you look it up, if you read about it, I'm not very good at explaining planetary stuff. I'm not an astrology expert, but some cards have more than one sign associated with them, and the Magician is one of those cards. So some of you could be dealing with a Gemini, some of you could be dealing with a Virgo, some of you could have placements in your chart that are really coming to the surface as you're really embracing your power and coming into like just the full scope of who you are. But it's all happening in terms of manifesting. You're coming into like turbo drive for manifesting. And Cancer, I'm not saying this in a negative way. I'm saying this in a way to encourage you. One thing I've noticed about the Magician card, a lot of the times it comes up for somebody when they're in a point in their life where there's nowhere to go but up. There's just, there's anything that happens would be an improvement, right? And so some of you might be in that energy and you're thinking about the people that let you down. You're thinking about all of the people that you were there for. You invested time and energy in them. And now you're in a situation where you're like, oh my gosh, there's literally nowhere to go but up. And where are these people? Where are these people that I helped them? You know, they're not coming in and they're not helping me. So I feel in some way, Cancer, some of you are coming into an energy where you're learning to put yourself first. And before maybe you're like, oh, well, I don't want to be selfish, but you're realizing this is a matter of self-preservation. And what happens when we start putting ourselves first, we start manifesting connections with people and relationships with people who are going to make our feelings a priority. They're going to mirror back to us the relationship that we have with ourselves. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull your spirit message for the week, my dears. And as always, I encourage you to watch your moon sign and rising sign videos because some weeks are going to resonate with you more than others. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you all. If you want to go ahead and click on the Calendly link after the video is over, you can schedule a private reading with me there. Alrighty, my dears. So your card here. Oh, I love this card. It's so cute. It's the Night Ride. We have this cute little elephant with these cute little owls that are going on a ride. So as always, I always encourage you guys to take a look at the card. Look at the images, the colors, what's jumping out at you, and what do those animals or colors or symbols mean to you. This is a really great way of practicing your intuition. This is a really great way of taking a general reading and connecting with it on a personal level. For me, stars are a symbol of following your intuition. Like your angels and guides are speaking to you. They're guiding you through like your gut feeling, what your gut is telling you to do. The owls for me are a symbol of wisdom and seeing through the darkness. You know, like following that light, that little glimmer of light in the dark place. And elephants for me are like, you know, commitment, steadfast, you know, being unmovable. Elephants are also very loyal, right? Like they have their tribes. And so some of you might be coming up with a little bit of an eclectic tribe in the near future, right? You might not think of elephants and owls hanging out together, but so you might be bonding with people in spirit through like the common thread as you're on the journey to find the other elephants or like the soul tribe. That's what, you know, jumps out at me, and that's what I think of when I look at these images. The creator of the deck has this card as a symbol of protection, friendship, being watched over, protector kind of, big brother kind of energy. Not big brother in like the Orwell kind of way, big brother in like the loving, protective kind of way. So the symbolism here is about magic and wonder, protection, being able to lean on somebody, and being able to get through dark times in a way that you feel safe and secure, right? There's a lot of things to be afraid about right now, right? There's a lot of people who are in fear right now in both ways, right? And those are things I'm not really allowed to get into in the YouTube videos. And, you know, I'll keep my personal beliefs out of it. But regardless of what your beliefs are with what's happening in this world dynamic right now, people have fear on either side of the fence. And so this card is about being able to navigate through that fear, being able to just like feel and sense in your gut what the truth is, and how to maneuver, and how to be able to see clearly. Okay, so this is a very positive message for you guys, my dears, my darlings. So again, watch your moon, sun, and rising sign. If you would like a private reading with me, go ahead and click on that Calendly link and schedule. Real quick, a lot of you are asking me about who won the giveaway for May. I haven't chosen a winner just yet. I'll be choosing in the next week or two. And you don't have to email me or message me to get into the drawing. There's no specific drawing. All I'm going to do is go through the Instagram and Facebook comments, like people who liked and commented on the posts. And I'm just going to see who jumps out at me. I'm going to pick one winner from Instagram, one winner from Facebook. One person is going to get a free private reading with me. One person is going to get the card deck that I used in the May love readings. And it's going to be a brand new copy of that deck. It's not my personal copy, but it's a brand new copy. It's still wrapped in plastic and everything. So whoever wins it would be the first person to crack it open and use it. So I've decided, this was a giveaway I was doing to say thank you for 100,000 subscribers, but I've decided I'm going to keep it going every month. I appreciate, you know, everybody here. So once a month, I'll give away a free private reading and some kind of a prize, either a tarot deck or a piece of jewelry or a crystal, or, you know, just different things as they come up. So if you're interested in being in the running for that, all you have to do is be active on the social media, on Instagram and Facebook. And I'm going to pick one winner from each page every month. So that's it. There's no complicated steps. There's no, if you see something and it moves you, if you click like, or if you click or you leave a comment, that's it. I'm going to pick the winners from there. So I thank you guys for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget, guys, Truly Divine, the wonderful folks at Truly Divine are still offering you guys the unlimited 30% off their already very reasonably priced astrology reports. I've been getting more and more questions about astrology, more and more people wanting astrology breakdowns and their charts analyzed. And astrology is a complicated subject, guys. People study it for years and years and years. I'm not an expert. I don't want to just be like, oh, well, yeah, let me tell you about your astrology and then give you incorrect information. But they reached out to me. They gave me a forecast for the year. I was really impressed with their service, and they're very reasonably priced. And they offered to give you guys unlimited 30% off, as many reports as you want with the Angel 30 discount code, and also to sponsor the channel through that. So I had a good experience with them. I'm happy with them. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback from people who have reached out and they've tried their service. They've all been like, oh yeah, you know, I was really happy with my report. So I'm going to continue to, you know, give them that exposure, or recommend them. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check that out. I thank you guys for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and I'm wishing you all a wonderful week. Take care, Cancer.